Jake Lloyd Bacon, I cannot take any more bad news this week. A mixed bag of emotions with Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, the stuff with Bob Bagwell. Oh, I can't take it.
Oh, I understand, Scott Narvin. That's not it. You know, we also lost Chuck Mangione.
Oh, no. Nunzio and the FBI are going to be devastated.
No, damn it, Scott. Not everybody with an Italian name was a member of the FBI. He's a musician. He's not a part of the wrestling.
What do you mean?
Chuck Mangione. Feels so good.
No, it doesn't, Jake. It feels terrible.
Hulk Hogan, I guess. Today on Pro Wrestling Palskis. Hey, Scott Narver.
Hey, Jake Lloyd Bacon.
Hi, everybody. Especially everybody joining us via the super exclusive Patreon-only live stream. Packed house. Currently
hanging from the rafters.
We don't really announce these in like far in advance when we do them. We do them every Sunday now, though.
I gave like 24 hours notice.
Did you really? When? How?
I didn't say the time, but I said yesterday on our Discord, hey.
Right.
We're recording at least one new episode today.
Well, thank you for doing your
card subject to change.
Due diligence.
JJ Dillinger's.
Ty Dillinger's 10. That is Andrea Beeler, current PWP world champ. We must acknowledge her. Her name, we stopped doing the point for a while, but her name is still up there, right there. We'll defend that title on the next episode. If you would like a shot at the title, if you want to take a shot at the champ, you can only do so at patreon.com/pwpalskis at the end of the year. All of our champions.
Yeah, you can't do it at Tony Hitchcliffe shows anymore. You can't take shots there at all.
Thank fucking
Low ticket
God.
sales. Sorry.
At the end of the year, we're going to go ahead and have a big raffle with all of our champions for a big old prize pack that we will announce the first episode of 2026. Yeah, get on in there and do the thing.
Just a clever way to get your address.
Is that really all it is?
And then you're on our mailing list.
I'm pretty sure.
Not an email list, a mailing list.
I'm pretty sure we have most of their addresses already if they're patrons.
Well, that could be like a side address. This is where they want stuff sent to. So
you
this
want
is
front,
the real
you want
one.
A front address? It's weird to me that people would give the address just to the sides of their house.
You know that little side one where it like goes to the kitchen area where the dog could be,
right?
Maybe barking at the mailman.
Speaking of the side of the house, Scott Narver today coming to you from the garage that they held Stephen Root in Barrie.
Yep, this is where he was held.
I like the way that you have it framed where it's just enough of the like rusty hinges coming down. It looks like just enough of a horror
That's
movie.
oil, baby. That ain't rust.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever it is.
Because I've been cleaning it.
It's stylish.
For the purposes of it being on camera because none of the other walls work. So this is it. This is as good as you're going to get.
I like it. You've got a little rim light with the little sunlight coming in behind you.
Yep. That's what I got. A rim light. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if that's what I have, people.
Yeah, that's what you have. It separates you from the background. It's very nice. This is a nice look. Better than it was. You looked like you were in space. That's what I was going for. You looked like you were in the depths of space last time.
Yeah, and the things were getting cut off in the frame, and it's like, just none of this is working. I can't do it in the house. That's a catastrophe. This is what I can do, folks. Sit in between wiping my dad's butt. This is what I got.
All right, then.
So, Newsweek this week is just 10 teen types of awful. Just fucking bummer news, sad stuff. I guess the one perk for those of us who kind of who like something a little bit bad news for someone, Tony Hitchcliffe show's canceled.
That's great.
That's
wait,
kind of
I just heard you just alluded to poor ticket sales. Is that why? Because I heard it was canceled, but I didn't hear why.
So what is being released publicly is that all that was advertised on the show was Cody Rhodes as a special guest.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Which you'd think like would boost sales because you go, oh, the number one guy is going to be there. Okay. So either he's champ or he's not, and he's going to get roasted or he's going to do some roasts. Like, interesting. But publicly they said low ticket sales. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm sure if I were Tony Hinchcliffe and that's not true, I'd be fucking pissed. And also I'd be pissed that I'm Tony Hinchcliffe.
Why?
So
where was this supposed to be again?
It's, like the actual theater.
No, I forget what city they're in.
The city of New Jersey.
Yeah. I don't know.
I also don't think wrestling fans are really keen after the last one where you can't have your phone out. You can't have your phone and record stuff, and that's just not how it's kind of built in at this point. Like, you go to an experience, you go to an event, and it's wrestling. Like, you want to record it, you want to get your clicks and your likes or whatever it is, or have it for later.
Do people know that though? Because it's not like they were at the last one. Like, I feel like people.
It's heavily advertised, and then if you want to watch clips or anything, you're watching stuff of people with a phone in their lap trying to hide it.
Interesting.
So it's part of if you're tempted to buy tickets, like it says, like no phones allowed at the event. I think they put it in the bag, before the show.
Interesting.
Lock it up, lock it down. So that's canceled. Also, I can certainly see if they go, yeah, there's deaths right now, and we don't want to do a bunch of roast jokes about people that are dead or have our talent being on stage with you guys saying things that are in poor taste about guys being dead. Like, we just don't want to touch it. We just don't want to do it. So I don't know. Who the fuck knows? So there's that. Buff Bagwell got his leg amputated.
This is the first time hearing about this. What? He got his leg amputated? This has been something that has been like a problem for a while, and they were like, we're just going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy.
He's been trying to rehab and do everything he can. It stemmed from a car accident, and it was just I haven't read the full story or heard the full thing about it. Like, he did a 25-minute video on it and just with his wife and just kind of talking through what was going to be happening, and then has released a video since of him in the hospital with the leg amputated. And so at least he's had enough prep time to know that this is coming and try and work and deal with it. But man, just heavy news.
Do you think they let him keep the leg?
That's what Maven asked him.
I don't get it.
Maven was there and they shot a video.
Oh, you mean literally? I thought you were making some joke because Maven has something with legs in the past. Oh, okay.
No, he's got eyebrows, man. That's his thing.
Got it. Okay, great.
So that's going on. Ozzy Osbourne died.
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
Yeah, I was really the fact that they just had that big giant concert where like all these people came out and honored him, and it was his big retirement concert. Like it first off, that's awesome. I'm so glad that he got to experience that, because those are usually the events that happen after someone dies. They don't get to see all the love, so it's.
Oh, I thought you meant like, when they die, they then prop him up, Weekend at Bernie style on the stage.
Yeah, put him in the chair.
Just play the songs.
Do we know that he was alive at this point? But no, like every time like a big name person dies and everybody starts honoring them, you always think like, oh, it's a shame that they couldn't see all of this. Like, why does it take somebody dying for everyone to be like, this guy was one of the best of all? Like, I always go back to like Norm. Like here's a guy who everybody loved universally, but like I don't think he got his like flowers, so to speak, when he was alive in like a big giant way until after he passes, and then everybody comes out of the woodwork and has these shows in his honor and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah, it's tricky. How transparent do you want to be in the case of Norm that you're terminal?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and he kept
to then get flowers, but you go, you're all doing this because I'm dying.
That's a good point. Sure, maybe not the best example.
Sincere version necessarily.
Yeah, maybe not the best example, but
Ozzy's is.
Yes. Sure.
Ozzy, he was in a bad place. He talked about how much pain and everything he was in, and he wouldn't be able to perform anymore because of, not dissimilarly to the next person we're going to talk about, like a neck surgery that did more harm than good. Is what like caused the end of his career. So he had Parkinson's as well, and just a bunch of issues. So he was able to have that last concert and perform. And yeah, just, I mean, with Bagwell, you know, it was always a fun character and do that. And then to see that happen, it's like, oh, fuck, man, that's rough. Ozzy Osbourne, we've got the memories of him involved in wrestling here and there. Like he's at WrestleMania 2 with the Bulldogs.
I didn't see that. Obviously, I was too little. But did he, when the Osbournes was on the air, didn't they do something with the Osbournes maybe during the guest host era?
Yeah. Him and Sharon were on and we're in ring doing some, they did it pretty well.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Well, they're theatrical and silly as people, so it fits perfectly in wrestling.
Yeah, and he gets to yell for Sharon, which was the catchphrase at the time.
Oh, right.
Sharon!
Yeah, right, yeah.
It was, he made a match with like Big Show and John Cena and somebody else. And
I want to watch that for you. I don't have a recollection of it, but the idea of him just trying to get wrestlers' names right really seems funny to me.
Oh, he nailed it.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
Ozzy, there's the Osbourne show where you get to see like, he's kind of
I hated it.
Fumble fucking around and screwing things up.
Yeah.
But when he's on,
he's a performer. There's a reason he's one of the greatest like metal rock frontmen of all time. Like the dude is a performer.
And I think whatever he's saying yes to, it's I will retain this. I know the names and he doesn't fuck it up. Like for all the Raw GM hosts and all that kind of stuff, like not Ozzy. Yeah. He doesn't have those moments. He's got it. He's got the timing. He's fucking sharp and he's funny. And then he does like a DX pose with the guys.
Oh, that's funny.
With Super Christian Shawn and Triple H.
Right.
Shawn and his version of, well, I won't say suck it, but I'll profit off it in every way possible.
Hey, both him and Ozzy were probably wearing a little cross because of Jesus.
Oh, Ozzy's wearing a bunch of crosses.
But no, yeah. So, I'm stoked that we got
fun memories.
I'm stoked that he got to have that concert. And yeah, I mean, he's one of those people where it's just like the perfect blend of the beginning of his career being a cultural hot point where controversial and, you know, the counterculture, but then that era grows up and becomes kind of more of the norm. So then he's just sort of embraced in the mainstream and thanks to the show and all of that stuff. And so like, yeah, one of the most just kind of universally beloved people, I feel. I did see on social media, and I feel bad for him because I know what he meant. But you know, the way social media, it's all about the headline, the clickbait, the immediate reaction is Billy Corgan. More attachments to pro wrestling. See, this is still a pro wrestling show, you guys.
I'm always keeping it pro wrestling here.
He wrote like, oh, we should have a concert every year in Ozzy's name to celebrate the man and fundraise. And every comment is just like, you mean like Ozfest? You mean like a thing called, you know, we could probably call it Ozfest. That's a great idea. Let's make it Ozfest. And I'm just like, guys, come on. Like, I get it. It's funny to dunk on Billy Corgan for him coming up with an idea that already kind of exists. But at the same time, he meant like something that's not all festival. He meant like a one night big extravaganza fundraiser thing. That's
separate from like, that's Ozzy's creation. We'll do something else that's not his that we could ever fuck up.
Ozfest has also been MIA for, I don't remember when the last one was, but it hasn't been around for a while. But I would say just bring it back and make it a one night thing if you want to. But
add an extra Z so that way you're not stepping on anybody's toes.
Ozfestzes?
Yep.
Yeah, put the extra Z at the end of Fest, I assume is what you meant there.
At the end.
Yeah.
Ozfestus, and have Festus come out and perform. You ring a bell, he's ready to go.
Did Chris Jericho's dumb band start as an Ozzy Osbourne tribute band? Is that why they're called Fozzy? Because weren't they Fozzy Osbourne
I think initially they were a tribute band. I think you're right.
Because I thought they were called Fozzy Osbourne in the beginning of it. But I don't know.
They could have been. I certainly don't retain a lot of Fozzy information because I don't want to.
That's understandable. So you know what? Same.
But yeah, Ozzy, fun wrestling memories, like fun, his enthusiasm.
What was the deal
of WrestleMania 2?
Yeah, what was the deal with Mania 2? I don't recall it. I never saw it.
He's there with the Bulldogs, joining everyone. So the Bulldogs have Captain Albano as their manager.
Okay.
And then Ozzy comes to the ring too. And he's going, yeah, British Bulldogs forever. And just as a hype man for him, you know. And they fought Valentine and Barber for the tag team titles. So, yeah, just like
fun.
Ozzy interspersed and fun stuff in wrestling. And the best part was Ozzy never had a match.
Right.
Certain people just go,
never tarnished
I know how
it
this works.
Never tarnished it by getting too involved.
Yeah, jelly roll. We'll see how that goes. We'll stay tuned and keep you informed on that story. But then, yeah, the biggest news of all this week, Hulk Hogan passed away from cardiac arrest at age, God, what was it?
79, 70 something.
Pull that up.
Not quite that old.
I think it's 71. Maybe.
Oh, you're breaking up on us here.
Yeah, 71. Well, I got a lot of emotions. It's a complicated death.
Young for modern old people, but old for a wrestler. That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah, that's a very good way to put it. So yeah, this is certainly complicated in many aspects. And I thought, like most things in life, it's good to talk it out and good to work it through. Because a little something that my brother and I were talking, and he put it kind of well. He said, 10 years ago, I think I would have been really sad. There's only a few people in sports that like would devastate me.
Interesting.
And 10 years ago, it would have. And now he's like, it's not great, but I'm not super sad. And I said, I think I'm a little bit more on the sad side overall. But again, like had it been 10 years ago, I would have been the same. I would have been devastated before controversies and awful things came out.
For the more public facing parts of his personality.
Of Terry.
That's what I meant.
Of Terry Bollea, the person.
Sure.
Yeah. And I said, but I have so much of wrestling and so many of my memories and so many things that are connected with my brother are tied to Hulk Hogan.
Interesting.
And I said, so that's what's getting me. And we can go deeper into some of that stuff, but like the first show ever that we went and saw that our family went, we've asked my dad so many times and he doesn't really remember how he got these fucking tickets to a house show in Dallas.
Okay.
He got front row tickets.
Oh, he knows. He just doesn't want to tell
you. For a
house
show in Dallas.
Okay.
And he rented a limo for us because my mom went too. My mom was not a wrestling fan, is not a wrestling fan, nor will I think she will ever be a wrestling fan. So yeah, it's 4 tickets. It's my brother, myself, my mom, and my dad. And we go to Morton's for dinner. Morton's Steakhouse.
Okay.
Again, to just kind of soften everything for my mom of like, you got to sit through this show. Sorry, the kids are so excited to go watch this.
That's
and
funny.
You got to endure. And so she's getting the limo, which is cool for us. Like it's a fucking limousine. This is cool. We got a driver. He's super nice to us and trying to make everything special. And we go to the Morton's and they wheel out the steaks and you see everything on the cart. And then we go sit in the house show and we got front row tickets and we don't know what a house show is. We're thinking we're trying to look for the cameras and figure out is it going to be on TV and what is it?
Right. When is this air? Right. Yeah. How old are you? How old are you here? Just trying to get some context.
Probably like, let me see. This is Hogan and Boss Man is what we end up seeing. So I'm guessing like somewhere between 7 and 8 would be my guess.
Okay.
And
so what is this, like 8?
My brother gets
mid 80s.
This is like 87 or 88.
Got it.
Would be what I guess. I have the tickets somewhere.
Right.
And my brother gets first crack at merch, and I don't want to choose what he chooses, so he gets a Hulk Hogan tank top and a Demolition t-shirt, and so he picked like the two best things.
Wow, somebody that had a favorite. I hate to tell you, it was not you.
Oh, I know.
You're aware?
And
It's not
I
news.
still know it to now.
That's great.
Yeah, the good one left. And then I get a Powers of Pain shirt because I'm like, well, I can't pick the other stuff. He picked it. So I got a Powers of Pain t-shirt.
Well, I didn't even know
Front row.
What was the
This
Powers
is
of
the show.
Pain? Who are the Powers of Pain?
Barbarian and Warlord.
Oh, right. Okay, I think we talked about that during a watch along once. Right.
And I've told the story on here too about this is the show where Mr. Perfect fought Tito Santana and we cost Mr. Perfect the match.
Right.
By jumping and hauling on our chairs. But this is also, and it's probably the before the intermission main event, because Hogan was always going to the next town.
Right.
But it was Hulk Hogan versus the Big Boss Man. And, you know, it's all these are super larger than life characters. It's fun. It's crazy. And Hulk Hogan ends up getting handcuffed in it. And I remember this more so because of we took like terrible photos and have some of them. But at one point after Hogan is handcuffed and beat up, he broke the handcuffs. And so we have a shot of like a little ringlet of the cuff, like flying through the air.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
He's got it still on his wrist. So that blowing our minds of like, he's so strong. He broke the handcuffs. Oh my God. And, there's no way that the Boss Man won that match, you know, so Hogan had to have won. And
right.
That just being the first show ever seeing it. Of course we're there for Hogan. Like he's the guy. And for little kids, and that being my first experience and seeing that like was so huge.
Right on. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it's a formative wrestling thing for you. I think that's what a lot of people say. A lot of people say like, oh, I wouldn't be a fan of wrestling if it wasn't for this dude.
Yeah. It's so much of this you're tied to a certain generation of when you're born and when you're watching wrestling. It's ultimately tied to Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Isn't that what people say, like the three people who built modern day pro wrestling or Vince, Hogan, and Flair is what everybody says. And I'm always like, all right, I guess you put Flair in there. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And they're all fine now.
Do you think
upstanding
seriously.
moral citizens?
Well, that was the other take of that was like, yeah, imagine going back 40 years and saying, yeah, these three guys are building pro wrestling and this is what they're all going to be in 40 years from now. And being like, oh no, maybe we should stop them now.
I guess part of it Flair would be like, yeah, isn't he telling that to you now? Like he's just going to constantly fuck and drink and be a creep? Like, isn't that kind of why we currently like him?
The gimmick?
Yeah, but he does it
like
when you don't want him to.
Whenever people are shocked that like a rock star has cheated on their wife, and I'm always like, yeah, that's what they do. That's why you liked them 20 years ago.
Although his character, the little side note of like Flair, like Teddy Long has been saying in interviews forever, like, yeah, Flair has called me, you know, N-bomb over and over and over again. And when Teddy Long says like, yeah, no coverage, Hogan said and did this stuff like, okay. And no. Okay.
I mean, it might just be because Hogan's a bigger star nationally, like outside of wrestling, you know, with the reality show and all the other shit. It's more newsworthy. He's a bigger deal. Sorry to all the Flair people out there, but like, it's just the truth.
Sure. It's just, it sucks when somebody isn't heard.
Sure. Yeah.
And they're like,
I don't have any of that stuff that you have for Hogan at all whatsoever. I barely watched Hulk Hogan. I know that as a little kid, I liked Hulk Hogan. My mom would tell me that I would draw Hulk Hogan all the time. And the story she likes to tell is that I would call his bandana a Band-Aid. So I would always be like, oh, that's his Band-Aid. That's his Band-Aid. And she thought it was because, oh, he got hurt in wrestling. How cute that Jake thought he was a wrestler, so he needed a Band-Aid. But in actuality, I was just a little idiot who didn't know the difference between a Band-Aid and a bandana. But by the time I got into like,
when you were 17 years old.
Yeah. By the time my wrestling memories started happening, like where I remember being a wrestling fan, Hogan was already gone, and I never watched WCW at all. So I have like no wrestling Hulk Hogan. And then when Hogan comes back to WWFE at the time, I'm out of wrestling. Your shirt that you're wearing right now, didn't watch any of that. I I have zero wrestling relation to Hulk Hogan other than the fact that I know the reason why wrestling is what it is large part due to his character. With that said, I watched, No Holds Barred like a million times when I was a kid. That's my association to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I know you. That's your go-to.
A really insane actor. That's Hulk Hogan to me. He's an absurd, insane actor.
And writer.
And writer. But yeah, I don't have any of the warm fuzzies. I don't have any conflicts with the Hogan dying. But it's also like I don't have a connection. I'm also just not kind of that way when it comes to, it's interesting that you say like, 10 years ago I would have been wrecked. That makes me think of myself as like what wrestlers passing would like wreck me in that way. And one, maybe I just don't have that sort of connection with wrestling that you do. And therefore I can't really think of anybody. But for me, it's only ever going to be the ones that are surprises because they're young.
What about Bret Hart?
The Braves. Bret's lived a long life. We've got a lot of great memories. The Bret Hart character is already dead because it's not like if he dies tomorrow, we're gonna like, think of all the matches we missed out on. Do you know? Like I don't have.
Oh, so if they're not working, they're just fucking horses that should be put out to pasture behind the barn.
No, it's just that I don't have like I don't want Bret Hart to die. I like watching.
Well,
him
you're
talk.
fine with it.
I don't watch him talk, but I don't know that if he passed away, I'd have like a really strong emotional response to it. Because he's an old man. He's not that old, but he's still like, it's a lot different than what I was going to get was like Bray is the sort of stuff that hits you because it's like a shock and it's a true, like, wait, this is somebody who had so much more time ahead of them. And
wait, they could have gone to work so much more and wrestled so much more. And then when they're old, then they can be dead.
Yeah. But isn't that ultimately the connection? It's like, it's the wrestling.
I think you think of wrestlers like most of them do keep wrestling. Ric Flair is just waiting to be booked right now.
There's a reason why. Yeah. No. But yeah, I don't. I'm trying. Listen, I don't like.
I'm worried about Alexandra knowing of your pulling the plug sort of mentality. As soon as it's like, you just don't have any more interesting stories. I'm sorry, you just got to go.
I also just don't have that sort of parasocial relationship with celebrity either. Like even the people that I absolutely love that are like,
I would sooner say to categorize for myself, entertainer.
Yeah, sure. That's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't mean just a famous person for famous sake. Like,
no. Yeah. And yeah, I totally understand. But I honestly, I could think of only one, like, celebrity death that like really rocked me to my core, but it was because of mental health issues. And that was when Robin Williams passed away, because at that point, dealing with someone who myself personally had been suicidal in the past, thinking in that moment, well, fuck, if Robin Williams isn't going to make it, then I'm fucked. And so that like wrecked me on a different level than just, I liked Robin Williams, So yeah, I don't know. I think it maybe, and again, it is what it is. I can sit here and just shit on Hulk Hogan for an hour if that's what you want, but nobody wants me to do that. And like, I just don't really have any of the feelings that I understand my peers in wrestling fandom have for the guy. Cause he was just that guy. He was the cartoon Hulk Hogan.
Well, I don't think any of your stuff is not valid, and I don't want you to not say it. I certainly just wouldn't want it to be like met with everything of like, hey, there's this thing that I feel, or this thing. It's like, yeah, well, he's a piece of shit. I'm glad he's dead. I think.
Listen, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's what I've been told. I don't listen.
By your mom, who
I don't listen to
like, oh,
no, she's the last person who would have given that advice. My mom's advice is the other way around. If you're going to talk about somebody, make sure you're complaining about them.
Yeah, it's tough because I think the modern version of all things that is more sports entertainment than pro wrestling, like it's because of Hogan, it's because of Vince. Like there's just no question about it. That was his guy. He was the right place, right time.
Let's play a little mini what if here. Like, what if Hogan wasn't the guy?
Okay.
Like, one, does wrestling still get to where it does in the rock and wrestling connection? And because that's really like what truly created the boom, the mainstream boom. And so like, who is it if it's not Hogan? Or is it somebody that didn't
Vince
even
become... said who it was going to be. He said who his number 2 was.
Who was his number 2?
Vince is on record saying it's Dusty Rhodes.
Interesting. I mean,
but I don't think it does.
Well,
I think with Dusty, it doesn't. And
I think it's because of the steroids. Like you get there's a lot of people who talk about like, oh, I had a Hulk Hogan action figure, but I never watched wrestling because the character looked, because he looked like a toy. He literally looked like a comic book. He looked like that. He was prime for that space in pop culture in ways that other people weren't. Not that weren't many who were, but I don't know that Dusty was.
Dusty wasn't. Dusty was, I think he would certainly be a fixture and be someone that was well known in wrestling and maybe popped out a little bit out of it. But ultimately, it's the move that was going against wrestling and the thing that Vince McMahon Sr. didn't want any part of, hey, I got this offer to be in Rocky 3. I don't want a fucking actor. I need you here. I need you working. I need a pro wrestler. And it's, well, I got to take, like, think of how many people could see this. Hulk being on the cusp of like, no, the exposure is so good for everybody. Yeah, but that's not who I'm marketing. That's not what I want. I'm not interested in that. And Vince Sr. didn't see it at all. So the guy to take the movie role, to make him at first the larger than life thing, to then get him on, then it gets him in AWA, but he goes on talk shows. He goes on Johnny Carson because they're trying to figure out like, who the fuck is this guy? Who's this enormous man who, steroids or not, he's still a gigantic fucking person,
regardless of how he became it.
And then with the shift of Vince Jr. and everything, but this is also the time of Arnold Schwarzenegger comes into prominence, and all of our action heroes and heroes on screen of old are the 70s. It's a lean, thinner man, and now it's the bodybuilder type. So the timing of this also just couldn't be more perfect. Of Hogan is that, and also the early Hogan is wild. The eyes are crazy. His energy is just unparalleled. Like he's a crazy force. And so then he's on Saturday Night Live. He's in fucking movies. He's on the Tonight Show. He's doing all these things that takes forever for wrestlers to get back to.
Oh, you mean
he's on Sports Illustrated? You mean for fuck's sake?
It took years for people in the wrestling industry after that to do it again. Is that what you're getting at? Got it.
Yes. Right. Like Rock gets on in the year 2000. It's 15-ish years later before they go like, well, what pro wrestler would be a great fit for this? Or who's so entertaining and good that they could hang and that we don't think, oh, that's a stupid fucking pro wrestler.
Right.
It's, and Hogan carries the ball. He does it all the way through. He does all the things. He does all the appearances. It all just works. And I don't think there really could have been a guy. I think there certainly could have been a guy that makes the WWF popular.
Sure.
But I don't think there's a guy that could have done what Hogan.
Well, it's interesting
because even if he said like, we're making Piper the face, like Piper will be the good guy and do this.
Doesn't quite work.
He's still the better bad guy. And it doesn't quite align. I don't think.
Especially because when I think about early wrestling, it's my own perception of that. So therefore I think about the new generation, right? Because that's where my memories of wrestling start happening. Because even though wrestling was on TV and I know I watched it as a kid because of my older siblings and whatnot, I don't remember Hulk Hogan. I'm sure I watched it. I know I did enough to, like I said, have a toy and draw the guy, but I don't think I remembered, but I remember the Bret Hart. I remember, the Undertaker, the debuting Undertaker. And that's like, I'm 7 years old. I remember Tatanka. I remember Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I remember like that era. And the reality is it's easy for me to be like, oh yeah, maybe it would have been Jim Duggan. Maybe it would have been this guy. Maybe it would have been that guy. But the reality is those guys were already, they boarded the ship that had already launched on the back of Hogan and Vince at that point. So it's hard for me to think of who it would be because I just don't know the lineup at that point. Because you got to figure Andre's on the way out already. He's already so, Yeah,
and he's an attraction.
100%.
He can't go and talk everywhere.
No.
That's just not. His baby teeth are terrifying.
Yeah, because even when I think about like,
and Backlund.
Right.
Backlund's the guy before it, and he's not the guy.
He's like the old school guy. That's like he's more of the Bruno Sammartino era than anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And were any of them going to be the bass guitarist in Metallica? I don't think so. So that's not rock and roll.
Were any of them going to be offered the lead in 9 out of 10 action movies that he ended up not starring in, according to every interview ever?
Yeah. Another memory that's, again, like it's all tied to my brother with all this stuff of Hogan is, as you alluded to, the shirt that I'm wearing, it's a WrestleMania 18 shirt. Another story that I've told, maybe it was a pre-show when we both talked about like we were training wrestlers in the time frame of what it was. And I was doing that play No Sex Please We're British, and I jumped through a window, I got hurt, broke my clavicle.
You hurt yourself. Yeah.
So all that was leading to WrestleMania 18 like was in the works and was coming around, and I got hurt, and it was during the buildup of that, and my brother and I were planning on going to that show in Toronto. This was going to be a gigantic trip for us. I've never been outside of the country, and Hogan was back, and I was into wrestling again for a few years. He was for a few years more than me, but we couldn't believe that the guy who was in WCW that he took me to go see, I told that story before too, where we went to the house show and I didn't know what the NWO was. I saw all my favorite guys, and now they were all bad guys from the 80s.
And they were all dressed not in crazy colors and looking like cartoons like you didn't like. Yeah.
And it was at the Great Western Forum, and Hogan is tearing his shirt, and the crowd's wild. Like no one's in their seats anymore. And it's all just kind of moving, kind of like a mosh pit starting. Right. And Hogan tears his shirt, and right at the apex of the tear, boom, someone threw an egg and it just burst all over his chest.
Perfect.
And it was just this fucking crazy crowd. And then the Giant was laughing and smoking, and other guys were laughing, and Hogan was kind of pissed. And so I had seen that, and then was catching up on some WCW stuff, but then seeing like the NWO is coming into the WWF. What the fuck is happening? And it was Rock versus Hogan. It's Icon versus Icon. And I got hurt, and I'm in the hospital. I can't do the show that I was, prepping for. The dreams of joining UPW, the wrestling school that's training John Cena, Samoa Joe, countless others. Those hopes are immediately dashed. I almost died at one point. I'm in the hospital, and I remember at one point I'm in pain and I'm vomiting, and I can't turn to vomit because my clavicle is painful. So I'm just having to like turn my neck and vomit into this fucking basin. And SmackDown is on. Right. And it's hyping the show. And I'm going like, I can't, like everything is dashed. Everything is gone. Like I can't do any of this shit. And I was so excited for this. I think I'm 22 when this is coming up, and it's just, this is the biggest, most important thing, an adventure with my brother, and to see this match that never thought possible, but eventually it does. Like everything becomes, it kind of levels out, and the doctor, I said like, can I fly? And they go, you could. Right. I don't think you should. Well, I will. So fuck it. I don't care. It's all worth it. And we're going to Toronto, and there, my brother and I are having a good old time, and we're excited. We see Chris Jericho like in the lobby of the hotel, and people are booing him because he's a bad guy. And it's like, wow, look, they're in the wild. This is WrestleMania weekend. This is so crazy. And then we get to go to a meet and greet of a bunch of wrestlers, and they're at 4 different tables, and Hogan's at one of them, but they assign to which table you're supposed to go to. And then you get to go to the next one in certain positions, and people are trying to fucking switch around so they could go to Hogan's table.
Interesting.
And they're being real strict on it. So you get to meet who you get to meet. And it was trying to meet Hogan the whole time, get his autograph or something, and just get close to this person that was unreal. The cartoon character, as you said.
Right.
And then it doesn't come to fruition. We're like 10 people out from access to see Hogan. And then he met some, he did a whole line of people, and then they did some special needs people, which that's always a really cool thing to see. Like no matter what, like good guy, bad guy, WWE talent, however they're taught how to do it. Like you get to see Hogan with the special needs kids, and he's evil, but he's amazing with them,
playing it up.
And then it's all right, folks. Hulk Hogan's leaving, and I'm like, oh, no. Oh God, who can replace this? This is gonna be. Here comes Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. Like, fuck, I already met them. Like, oh man.
I mean, listen, it could have been worse. Depending on the year it was, that could have been. Yeah.
Totally. But it was just
been like, here's the headbangers or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Right. Your hopes are so high. Here's Charlie Haas. Sheldon? Nah, sorry.
That reminds me of the one dinner meet and greet that we went to, and you don't know who the wrestlers are going to be, but 2 wrestlers are coming out. And for me, it ends up being like I think I was 10, ended up being like 2 of my favorites, Owen Hart and Marty Jannetty. And I remember thinking like, this was the best ever.
That's
I
cool.
really wanted, Diesel or Bret Hart, like those are my 2 favorites. But I was like, listen, these are the best.
These are your like intercontinental
these
favorites.
Are my absolute best. Marty Jannetty, what are you kidding me? That guy's going to be a Hall of Famer one day.
He's going to be all right.
Yeah. But.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And
then
go ahead.
Oh, then we end up going to WrestleMania 18 in the Sky Dome. We're in Toronto, and there's so many Canadian fans and there's some American fans, and it's a wild night. It's a cool show being in the Sky Dome, knowing that WrestleMania 6 was there, and it's a super fun show. And then the energy, that is a night of magic. I know we talked about previously, like, hey, what would you go revisit? What moment would you be for in wrestling if you go visit any moment in time? And sometimes I think I would just go revisit that moment again to be there for that match when the graphic comes up, and everybody I'd talked to, because I was more open to chatting with strangers at that time, like an idiot, and saying like, who are you rooting for, Hogan or Rock? And everybody's like, Rock.
Obviously, yeah.
And I was confused. I was like, what? Hogan's back. You're not rooting for Hogan? Every answer was Rock.
Right.
And then the second that Hollywood Hulk Hogan comes out, the entire stadium switches.
Right.
And it's nostalgia. It's they can't believe what they're seeing, and everything changes, and that place just gets louder and louder and louder all throughout the entrance of the match. And it's just nuts. That match there's nothing like it. And certainly being there, I've never experienced anything like that in a pro wrestling setting since. And where it just flips everything that happens in the ring, and they have to change what was structured and what was in place of like, well, I'm the bad guy and you're the good guy.
Right.
All right. The crowd's not having it. The crowd likes me and they fucking want you to die.
Right.
And that's just, again, one of those moments with my brother. I'll never forget that we got to experience that, and that just such a cool match. I got the chair sitting next to me and all that. So it's again, like it's a Hogan moment. He was an amazing performer.
Right on.
Not an overall amazing human being, sadly. I think there are times where, like I could say with like Make-A-Wish kids or with special needs kids, like this, it's nice seeing that stuff, because I can tell you plenty of stories of other wrestlers that I've seen that were not kind, or I've never seen them make those nice moments. I've never seen Flair make nice moments with fans. I've seen him walk by him and pay a doorman $100.
That also, I think, comes from that era of like, he might tell you that, he's the greatest gift to all of everything in wrestling. And in all the interviews we talk about how his control was everything and all that stuff. But, at least at the height of the 80s, like, I don't think he was ignorant to the fact that, like, it was all of the people who were swarming him. It was all the fans. It was all the kids. It was all those people who were buying the fucking merch that was keeping his position intact. Like, because if it wasn't for the merch, if it
Yeah.
wasn't for all the extracurricular non-wrestling, because tickets aside, he was one of the first, like, we always talk about Austin, about the 316, but like Hulk was the first, like there was a Hulk everything. And there was no other wrestler before him who had the lunch boxes, the toys, the fucking Sunday morning cartoons, the this, the that, like, and so
Sunday morning cartoons.
Saturday morning, the weekend morning cartoons. But
skipping
so I
church.
don't think, I think he knew how to deal with the public. My ex waited on him once. I just remembered that. I've completely forgot about this.
Is
what
that
was
where
he
you guys broke
doing?
up?
What was he doing? Hardly. What was he doing in like 2007? Was that TNA at that point? Maybe
That might be TNA at that point.
Right. So around that time, it was when I was living in Florida, in Tampa, or just outside Tampa in Lutz.
Okay.
And my ex was one of her jobs was a server for this. Oh, what the fuck was it called? Something Rick's on the Water. It was like a guy's name, and it was on the river. So people would like pull their boats up.
So seafood?
Yeah, but it was also just like it was like any whatever. But people would pull their boats up on the river and like come to the restaurant from the pier, and apparently he came in one day with like like an entourage of people, and
Jimmy Hart and the Nasty Boys?
Honestly, it might have been. She wouldn't have recognized them. So I don't know that she would have known who was there. For all I know, I don't know, who knows. But apparently it was kind of a nightmare, not him, but just the fact that it was like he just showed up with a bunch of people and there was no like, hey, we're going to come to your restaurant, and they were not prepared. They didn't have servers, and it was kind of a nightmare.
Okay.
But she didn't say that he was a terrible human being in that instance, just that there was a lot of people and it was really loud and she was very cranky. But he was kind of obviously he was like a fixture of Central Florida, rather, where it's like, at any given moment you were going to run into a member of the Hogan clan. Also, that was around the time when the show was on too. So there was a lot of like popularity and controversy surrounding the show too. Cause I'm pretty sure, was it Hogan Knows Best? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was on around that time. My timeline could be fuzzy, but I never watched it.
It's somewhere.
Speaking of Ozzy,
maybe it's petering out at that point, but it feels like 2005. Yeah, the VH1 reality show that Ozzy had first, and then they tried to recreate it with Hogan.
Is that kind of what it was? Where they were just trying to capture that lightning in a bottle with another star of yesteryear?
If I'm wrong on the networks or something like that, apologies, but I thought it was VH1 did the Osbournes, massive success, and did something that you would think on paper, because I remember hearing about it, and I wasn't a huge Ozzy's fan or anything, but I knew of him and I thought, wait, you're taking this, the Prince of Darkness, you're taking this iconic rock figure and you're showing him being a bumbling
and that's why I hated it. I hated it because at that point, I was such an Ozzy nerd and I was such a music nerd that I looked at it as like, we were exploiting him. Like I was so protective of him. I was like, they're making him look like an idiot. But then also what that was just me being angry because I was thinking that he was an idiot and I didn't like that. I was like, oh, this guy's fucking an idiot. And that was under the surface. What my real rage was that, oh no, this guy who I love is kind of a bumbling idiot who doesn't know how to remote works. Sharon! Trying to get the TV to
right.
work.
But that's a super fucked TV system.
No, I agree.
That never took off.
That fucking tablet was ridiculous. But
it made him three-dimensional. And
sure,
it made him,
yeah.
It showed
a lot of money.
That
it made him a lot of money.
It made him a lot of money, but it also, it showed that he's a loving husband and a loving father and maybe not a loving pet owner, but it rounded him out and made him human, which gave him more longevity, gave him more endearment. And then it's like, oh, well, let's take someone else who's like this larger than life figure, Hulk Hogan, and we'll get the same thing. But it didn't work.
No.
It did the total opposite.
And I think a lot of that too was because it wasn't just Ozzy. It was the kids and it was Sharon. And it was like, and none of the other Hogan clan were really like adding to that equation the way that those people were.
yeah, the formula about it was all just kind of strange. To me, it felt like, all right, I get it. You're rich and all orange. That's cool. And then Brooke wants to be a singer. All right, that I believed in. It's like, oh, that feels true. And she was going on that path for quite some time. And then Nick wanted to be a wrestler, but it feels like you're just shoehorning this in so we can get other wrestlers in on the show.
That felt like the same thing that they did with Noelle Foley.
Oof.
Where it was like, well, we're going to tell a story about you training. And then they're like, okay. How much money we making?
Who's going to train her?
How much money we making per episode again? Right.
And yeah, it made Hogan a person, but it didn't make him an interesting person. It just made him a guy that we saw at times like, oh, he's hurt. Oh, his back isn't good. Oh, he's just kind of shuffling around. Like, he didn't want to, it didn't add to anything to Hogan that was better in any way. Like, it was just like, oh, okay.
Right.
Well, that's not great. I don't think he does know best.
Well, I don't
know if him and Linda like each other.
Here's the thing. Here's the other big difference is that I bet you that was pretty much just what Ozzy is. And Hogan has a camera on him. There is no authenticity to fucking Terry Bollea. Everything is an act. Everything is a performance. Everything is manipulation to make him seem a certain way. Everything, like, it's a calculated, smarmy. It's the reason why a lot of people in the industry fucking hate them, because it's just like, he seems two-faced. He seems like dishonest, and there's always a con happening of some sort, or there's always a, and a lot of it I think is
he's a carny.
He's a carny.
He's a carny through and through.
Fucking, yeah, yes, 100%. And because of that, that's why the show lacked any sort of like joy, because it wasn't like, oh, we got a glimpse into maybe Ozzy being kind of a crazy old man. And instead, it was like, oh, it's just more of Hogan in an interview where he's just trying to control shit. Like,
yeah, because he's never let that part go, right? Like in the way that we can look at how the Undertaker has talked about himself for all these many years, right? Like, I tried to keep in character and I tried not to reveal stories and I didn't talk. Okay. Yeah, I guess that worked for you for a long time. And for Hogan, I think that worked up to, the 2000s or so. Like, you being the carny of the second you walk out the door, you're Hulk Hogan because that's what you look like, and you really can't hide it. Like, that's it.
Sure. Yeah.
Taker can put on the hat, do whatever. We see he's a tall, dark guy, but he can walk past you or do something and just ignore you and give you a look or something. But he can be silent and move on.
Doesn't look like a cartoon character.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking scary, weird biker guy or someone dark. And you do a double take, but Hulk Hogan walks out his door. He's Hulk Hogan. He's got to be Hulk Hogan. No one wants to hear that he's Terry. He doesn't want to be Terry. Like, he doesn't want the fan perception and to have people know his name or any of that shit. So this is something that in my past relationship with the girls, during the pandemic, like we were talking about.
You mean your ex's children specifically?
Yes, my ex's kids, that we were talking about, because they were starting to get into, like, some pop artists and stuff like that were mega stars, or they would look at stuff along like Michael Jackson and ask questions. And I would try to explain this. I didn't ever use Hulk Hogan as an example because I wouldn't give a shit. But I was saying, like, there's a weird thing that we'll truly never understand, hopefully, because we never have to go through this. That a guy like Michael Jackson, in this case, a guy like Hulk Hogan, once you become this national star, that's one thing, right? Where things are just changed and weird and people recognize who you are. And at any given moment, you're just fodder for people to come up and talk to you or to ask things of you or to do something. Or then there's crossing the line where they followed you home, or they went somewhere where they shouldn't, or they're talking to you in the bathroom or weird shit like that. But then there's fucking worldwide status. There's worldwide recognition. And then anything and everything is just out the window. You can't go to the grocery store. You can't do small little things on your own. The friends that you had are the friends that you have because everyone else is out for something, or you can't trust them, or you don't know what's going on, or your friends have changed. Like, there's, at a certain point, Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan couldn't be a real person anymore.
Okay.
Like,
sure.
I'm not saying like anything that he does as a person is okay or excusable. I'm not saying that by any stretch, but why did he run with Jimmy Hart and Brutus and the Nasty Boys forever? Because it's like, that's it.
Right.
That's who you got, because nothing for that dude became normal anymore. He's not a normal person. Everyone around the world knows, hey, that's Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Hey, that's Gremlins 2, the New Batch guy.
Right.
Hey, that's,
sure.
It's
Thunder Lips.
Yeah, whatever it is, like, he's fucked.
Sure.
Things are just, he's no longer going to have a normal life. He's no longer a normal person. And that's a shame for anybody that has to deal with that. But you're this artist that the world has embraced.
Can you think of an example of somebody who's at that level who was able to just be normal?
No.
I think Michael Jordan, maybe. Maybe, because I'm trying to think, like, he is despite basketball maybe not being as global, it is a pretty global sport, and he was a pretty big, massive star. I think of people like
Space Jam.
Madonna, kind of a little crazy, less problematically crazy, but still pretty crazy.
Yeah, like, I'm sure there's plenty of Madonna stories where they're like, yeah, she was awful and rude to all of us, and now she's British.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan, I guess, is probably pretty close here, but he's certainly for a lot of his life went like, I'm gonna be over here behind closed doors, leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean, like, Tom Cruise is a fucking loony bin because of that goddamn cult that he's in.
Mission Impossible, dude.
No, it's
MIF.
MIF. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I just watched all those for the very first time, by the way. And my favorite line in the entire series is when when he says, like, I'm in a group called MIF. It stands for Mission Impossible Force, and she goes, that can't be its name. And I was just like, thank you. Somebody said it. This is a terrible name.
Well, blame the TV show. They did it first.
Listen, we lost Laszlo Bane. We didn't even talk about Laszlo Bane.
Oh, he had such a cool voice in The Dark Knight Rises.
Is that who he based it off of? I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other people who are like at that level of like stardom who ended up or like weren't. I mean, Tom Hanks, there's some movie stars who I think are, but the difference is that they're not they're not caricatures of themselves because of a style. Because a lot of it also comes like when you have like a look that's like your thing but.
Yeah, and I would even argue like, yeah, Tom Hanks had moments where he's this really big star, but not, I don't think it's an international, like worldwide.
I think it kind of is.
Like Bangladesh is watching Forrest Gump.
I mean, I think so, but I guess I don't know.
But I think that was for a period of time, and it's just not, I don't know. I think it's really tough for that, and to hope that you are surrounded by good people. You are surrounded by, and you're already in the wrestling business, so it's already fucking high school. It's already, you're already fucking fucked carnies when it comes to that.
They're all fucking carnies.
But I think I did want to make one point amongst all this stuff.
Sure.
Is obviously it's unforgivable, the racist shit he said and thought and did. I don't like that it was certainly recorded without him knowing it, because that just feels even weirder.
But then it wasn't, though. And I agree about that. But it's also like, then there were plenty of things that he just said on the record.
Yeah.
That he was unapologetic about, and, posing it with an American flag in front of fucking people who have just recently been kidnapped without due process, directly against the Constitution, and holding the American flag of all things like a fucking hypocrite, mocking these poor people whose entire lives are essentially on the brink at this point, like just fucking scumbag behavior. And it's like, yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. You said earlier, or your brother said, if he died 10 years ago, it would have hit me better. If he died 10 years ago, it would have been better off for his legacy.
Yeah. Yeah. All the stuff that and that's part of it. It's like, who do you make friends with? What is it now? Like 30 some odd years ago that he has, that their buddies like, you made friends with Trump.
Yeah.
And because they made a bunch of money together and they could hang out in these clubs and
They could,
he's got Trump laws and all that. So it's like, yeah, he's a friend of mine or he's cool. And I would love to say, like, I'm sure he has a bunch of brain trauma. So that's why he chose these horrible mistakes at the end to do that. But when it comes to the racist shit or any of that, like, I've watched some interviews recently to see, like, did he ever truly apologize? He asked for forgiveness.
Yep, exactly.
And it's like, oh, you're close. You're so close. Why should they forgive you? It was what a thing. I don't know if we ever did we talked about doing a, like, what do we do with Hulk Hogan episode? I don't know if we ever did.
No, I don't think we ever got to it.
Off air, we've always chatted about, like, this should have been a thing. This should have been a Michael Cole, a Jim Ross.
Sit down.
Someone sitting down, like a special or ideally a news organization, sit down with him for an hour and go like
a 2020 thing. But here's the reality.
Do you want to fucking apologize? Like, do you see what your comments have done? Like, do you actually want to take ownership and start to build a bridge and fucking make things better?
But I think
that's what really makes me sad is
I don't think he had any interest in that. Because if he did, I think he would have.
And yeah, I'm bummed out by it because Mick Foley to me made the greatest point when it comes to pro wrestling that I tried to adopt in my life, and it's very difficult at times, is pro wrestling is all about forgiveness. Pro wrestling at the fundamental level is forgiveness. It's we as the fans will watch someone terrible for years, like the Four Horsemen beat the shit out of Dusty Rhodes, break his hand, do all this horrible stuff, right? They have to blur it on television. And then years later, oh, but you like them now because now they're sticking up for the latest hero. Like, I forgive them. It's okay. No problem. I'll forgive them. The wrestler forgives them. They are now tag team partners. It's forgiveness. And it's like, right, forgiveness. But the ownership of they did something wrong or they did something terrible. And I wish for his legacy, I wish for his sake, for who he was, that he had just at some point apologized and owned it. And then if it's like that, and obviously being sincere, not just say it for the sake of saying it because you were caught. Because I'd rather the fandom and everyone have the ability to say, I heard him say it. I don't accept his apology. Or those who go, I heard it and I accept his apology. And, for black wrestlers to do so and feel it and move on and have their journeys with it and have their personal relationships with him or professional. But it was never there. And I don't understand why. And I think that's just such a shitty thing that you couldn't ever own up to it.
Yeah. And again, it's just like, it's just it is who some people are. And I appreciate the sentiment, the forgiveness sentiment, and that's like a sweet thing. But, I've had many a therapist tell me that, forgiveness is often just a cover up for a personal relationship. And like, we don't have a personal relationship. Like, I don't think everybody deserves our forgiveness, especially when they're a stranger. We don't know this fucking dude. If, you and I got into something or you did something fucked up and it was causing me anguish, forgiving you is a way to appease my anguish in an interpersonal relationship. But in a relationship with a celebrity that's in one way, I don't think everybody deserves forgiveness. I don't think it's easier to forgive and move on. There's been a lot of, talk in communities about like, well, let he who without sin cast the first, all that bullshit. And it's like, yeah, no, but sometimes just fuck it. And all the arguments about like separating the art from the artist, it's like, yeah, if you're going to do that, then stop saying Hulk Hogan died, because you're not separating the art from the artist by saying that. Like, Hulk Hogan's supposed to be immortal. Remember? That was the name. Right. If Hulk Hogan lives forever, then why the fuck is anybody upset about some racist guy dying? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around the kind of like blanket defense of Hulk Hogan because people really love the things he did. And it's, it's refreshing for me to hear you say like, yeah, it's unforgivable. And when it all comes down to it, and it's like, it's not about that. But like, at the end of the day, this is the sort of conversation that we've had this conversation in the past when he was alive about everything he did for the industry. So I don't think that when somebody dies, all of a sudden it's like this, the warm, welcoming light of like, well, let's all appreciate the good he did. Like, cause we've done that already. We've been doing that for his entire career.
I think this has to be complex forever. It always has to be layered. It always has to be it doesn't have to be a mixed bag of emotions. I'm not saying that because
Sure.
you don't have to have a mixed bag of emotions for a guy that you don't give a shit about.
Exactly.
Or as the character, it's like, that's not to be put upon you. But if you do have the affection and like, nostalgia, childhood memories, all the stuff that's tied with me and my brother, it's tough. And there's nothing about it that it doesn't not get to be tough. Like either I can certainly make my decisions and go like, well, I guess Terry Bollea is just ultimately not a great person. He did great things. He worked really hard. He gave up his body for a thing he loved. He gave it his everything. He was great with kids. He had a family and yada, yada. Like there's a lot of good, but it's like, I'm at a place in my life with all this kind of stuff with like mortality and parents and everything and just personal relationships where if it's on a level where I'm dealing with someone personally, like you said, like if someone wrongs me or I feel cheated by them or they did something fucking awful, then I can write them off. And I don't know how to forgive them and do that thing that people just say like, I just forgave him and I moved on. Like, fuck you. That's not a thing. I don't believe you.
Right. It's also not always healthy. Again, I've had many therapists explain like, yeah, a lot of people talk about the healthy on it. No, sometimes you can just hold a grudge and it's fine.
But I also don't want to hold on to that energy. I don't want to have that anger. So there's got to be some middle ground that somebody's not talking about that I'm hearing yet.
And to me, that's my like, fuck it. Like I'm not struggling with this in any way, shape or form. I think that what I'm explaining to you is the middle ground, is the like, I you know what, a better example for this, for me personally right now, despite the fact that he's seemingly healthy and he'll probably be around for another 20 years, is Taker. Like my Hogan is Taker, right?
Yes.
Or Jake the Snake Roberts to another degree, right? But the unfortunate reality is like, yeah, maybe we don't have Taker on record saying the fucking N-word, just being generally a shitty person, and it seems like he's pretty much well respected by literally everybody. But the second that dude had fucking Trump on his podcast and was all buddy and chummy with his fucking, kayfabe brother, and that's it. The dude's fucking dead to me. Like I lost every ounce of respect.
He already was
dead again. I lost every ounce of respect I have for that man. I literally, when I see his stories of him telling, when I'm scrolling and his podcast clips that come up when you're scrolling through social media, I'm just I'm over it. Like I'm done. I don't need to see that dude. I have The Undertaker. I have The Undertaker for my entire childhood, and that's fine. This dude's not that. For me, that is my brand of separating the art from the artist. And it's not like I'm buying Taker shirts right now and putting money in his pocket. So it doesn't really matter in as far as the like financial support of the separating the art from artist and all that stuff that happens.
Right.
Like the reality is like, if Taker were to die suddenly, I kind of think that I would be like, he already did, in my opinion. Like the guy, he gave me an incredible career. Talk about, again, sacrificed his body. He put on amazing moments. He gave me massive parts of my childhood memories and all of these things that
He's
I have.
in Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan.
Suburban Commando. I don't know that I've ever seen that movie in its entirety. I feel like I had it on VHS, but I don't know that I ever watched the whole thing. I don't remember. But
I have it on Laserdisc.
All we need is a Laserdisc player and a way to hook it.
I have one of those too.
A way to hook it up to Zoom here. But yeah, I don't know. I guess like to me, that's that. And I have already made peace with that, because of who he is as a person. And from my perspective, it's an inconsolable, like, unless he changes and over the course of the rest of his life, he says, oh my God, I should have never done this. He shows some remorse, maybe changes his mind, maybe realizes, you know what, that guy was just a fucking con artist and I bought into the con because of xenophobia, because I didn't realize I had some unresolved fucking bigotry that was deep in my soul just because
Michelle told me to like him and I did.
Sure, whatever it is, like, and it's this sort of like, it's fucking boomers, man. Like it's just like this whole generation of people who it's just like, yeah, like get out of your own fucking way, or
I can't sign off on that
or
one.
Get out of ours.
Me.
Yeah, like I'm done placating for these people, and so that's why for me it's easier to just be like, yeah, fuck it. It sucks that some people love this guy and they are now in pain, but I don't have that struggle.
Well, and I think to your point, and many a great point in there, by the way, it's, as you said, like if Taker changes, if something happens, like great, I'm open to it. That's the part where I've been hoping for Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea to go like, hey, all right, I'm tired of getting fucking booed everywhere I go in wrestling shows. And I've talked to people, and my wife of today has now said like, wake the fuck up, man. You said some horrible shit and you need to own up to it and examine yourself. And that change could happen, but now it's closed. Like that's what this week has brought, is like, it will never happen now. This is what we're left with. That's the part where it's like, I wanted to talk it through. I wanted, fans of our show to listen to it if they are kind of in the boat of me, where it's like, oh yeah, I like the character a whole lot and I have all these wonderful memories, but damn it. Like this guy, it just feels a little shitty. And is it going to get any better? Now it's not. Now we just are left with this. We don't get that change. We don't get that. And that's what's hard, because it's over now.
Right. Yeah.
And what am I going to do with all these Hogan shirts? I could wear them around in my neighborhood. No problem. For sure.
Yeah. You have no
my
problem.
Neighborhoods would be like,
my neighborhood, not so much. My neighborhood, not so much.
I bet if you wore like retro red and yellow, they'd probably be like, oh, I remember that guy. It's like, yep. Okay. Walk it away before you piece more things together. But yeah, I know it's ultimately kind of what we talked about. It's the character that we say like, yeah, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's a lot of fun. Chris Irvin? I don't know about that dude. Oh man, Undertaker is great. Undertaker's fucking awesome. Mark Calloway? I don't know about that. Yeah. Hulk Hogan?
Same thing.
I love Hulk Hogan. Sure. Terry Bollea? Not so much.
And exactly. Well, there you have it. I'm not sure what else to say on the matter that won't just spin wheels and make people angry. But
I think you bring a good realistic perspective to all this as well. He's earned certainly the other side of it.
Yeah. Get a Hot Dog and Mania shirt now at pwpalskis.com. And
they're not going on clearance, people. We're only going to raise the price.
I'll donate. I'm going to raise the price. I'm going to donate all profits to the NAACP. That'll do it for the program. I guess, what do we do here? We have to thank our current Patreon Palsky, Scott Narver, but while you get that ready, we need to acknowledge our current PWP champ, Andrea Beeler. Champ for the month of July, defends that title next month. And if you want to get your name thrown into the mix, the only way to compete is by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/PWPalskis. Let's thank our current Patreon Palsky, Scott Narver.
You got it. So thank you to all for supporting the show. Adrian Avina, AJ0314, Alex Pierce, Alice Rader, Andrea Beeler, the current PWP champ, Gilbert Short, Mass Llama, Mexican Stallion, Michael Beltran, Mike Lucas, Strong Style, Suicide, Tim Redbeard, Tom Hader, and Tony Griggs.
Thanks to each and every one of you for your continued support of the program. Would not, should not, could not do this without you. If you want to call the hotline and leave a message, whether you have thoughts, questions, we've got SummerSlam next week, whatever you want to do, 747.
2 nights, Jake.
747-666-5606. That's the number of the Pro Wrestling Palskis hotline. Or you can send a voice memo to hotline at pwpalskis.com. 2 nights.
Are you going to watch night 1 downstairs and night 2 upstairs?
Maybe I'll do night 1 upstairs and night 2 downstairs.
Oh, shit. Breakfast for one, dinner for the other?
I got some new ice creams that I wanted to talk to you about. I know that we're a big fan of snacks here.
We have to end on a lighter note. Please tell me about these ice creams.
I went to go get I've been craving sherbet because it's like summer and every now and then I get like a little sherbet craze. I have to remember what they're called. The reason I'm looking at my phone is because I took a picture of them and I sent them to cousin Paul, so that's how I know they're in here. The company, so I went and I got a little sherbet, and as I was waiting for Alexandra to text me back, she's like, "Hey, do you want a little pint of something for later? A little something, something? I'm gonna get myself some sherbet, and if I come home and I don't have anything for you,
dirty talk, huh?
And while I'm waiting, I look up and there's this company called Dr. Bombay. Have you seen this?
No.
They had like 4
I also
flavors.
don't pay attention to sherbets at all.
They had 4 flavors that were all ice cream and sherbet mixtures.
What?
And I bought 3 of the 4, and I was like, well, so much for my little sherbet. They had an iced out orange cream, which is vanilla ice cream and orange sherbet with icy orange swirls. Okay.
That sounds like a wonderful summertime option.
Right.
I would say like that is a main event SummerSlam night 1.
I haven't had it yet. So that might be although if it makes it to next weekend.
Main event.
The one I have had so far, Strawberry Cream Dream, which is strawberry sherbet and vanilla ice cream with golden sandwich cookies. So it's essentially the vanilla Oreos.
Okay.
And strawberry jam swirls. That was
that sounds a bit much to me.
No, have you ever had the Good Humor strawberry shortcake bars? That are like pink with like little, because that's what, it tastes like an entire pint of that. Fucking amazing. That's the one I had so far. And the last one I bought, the third one I bought, is the one that it could go either way. This one I bought going, this might be awful, but also might be great. It's called Peanut Butter Jelly Time. And it is grape jelly sherbet and peanut butter ice cream with peanut butter chips and grape jelly swirled into it. Could go either way. That might be awful.
You might have to take some recreational drugs to really enjoy that one.
Well, I'm excited to try.
Wait, let's assign a match for each one of these.
Wait, from SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, the peanut butter jelly one. That's Drew McIntyre and Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul.
All right. I see what you did there, and I'll accept it, despite the fact that I don't want to watch Logan Paul and anything for the same reasons that we've spoken about today. And what about for the orange cream one? Oh, that's gonna be. It's gotta be. It sounds like American Dream. Orange cream. It's got to be Cody Rhodes.
Oh, because there's a dream in there, but he's the American Nightmare.
Okay, that's a fair point. Well, it is called orange cream. So, who's really sexy?
Well, when it comes to nobody's more orange than Becky Lynch, right?
Oh, great, perfect. Did you watch Happy Gilmore? Did you watch Happy Gilmore 2 yet? This is not a movie podcast.
Oh, starring Bad Bunny? No.
I watched it last night, and it was exactly what you think it's going to be.
Here's what I think it's going to be.
Sure.
I think it's going to be Coming to America, the Amazon sequel to Coming to America.
You're not wrong, but I actually think maybe Coming to America handled it a little bit better.
Ugh,
I think
it's just the fucking same with a different love story that's awful.
Happy Gilmore is just references to the first movie. And the worst part of it is every time they do it, they cut to the first movie.
No, come on.
That's the worst part of it. Now, here's the thing. There is an original story being told, and it is funny, and it has some fun characters. There's some new things, and I hate to say this, Bad Bunny's actually really funny in it. And I'm like, okay, this is a good part for him. He plays a good character. It's weird. There's some good physical comedy. But yeah, I think I might have liked Coming to America a little bit more than Happy Gilmore 2, to be honest with you. But I think it's because I was a little bit maybe more surprised. I don't know. This is not a movie.
But did you like Coming to America?
It's not a movie podcast. Yeah, I didn't. It didn't bother me as much. I think it was a nice extension while building, whereas this just feels like a revisit. But I also, I like all the people.
Oh man, I thought that was what Coming to America was. So
well, you'll really dislike.
Maybe, I can wait to see.
Maybe you'll love it then. Maybe you'll love it. But
what's the final flavor?
It's got 2. That was it. I didn't buy the fourth one. I forget what a fourth one was, but it was something that didn't speak to me.
I thought we needed
there were 4 flavors and I bought 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I already ate the strawberry one, but I guess I could just go buy another one. It was strawberry.
You have to go buy another one.
Great. It was Strawberry Cream Dream.
Oh, that's so Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu.
Perfect. No notes. All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. Find us on the socials at PW Palskis. PWPalskis.com is the spot you got to go. Head to the shop. Snag yourself some sweet PWP merchandise. Great way to support the program. Become a patron. Join the Discord, especially for SummerSlam. Should be pretty fun hanging out with all of the wrestling friends in the Discord. All the links at pwpalskis.com. That will do it. Hope you had fun hanging out with us. Always a blast hanging out with you, the Pro Wrestling Palskis.
It's Dragon Wagon.